What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Reel Me In, a movie podcast where you didn't really ask for it, but hey, we're going to give it to you anyways. This is a podcast where we talk about anything, everything, and, well, anything about movies. I'm one of your co-hosts, Chase Lee, and hey guys, listen, if you stumbled across our house, you burst through the front door and you're like, I want to listen to a new movie podcast, or I want to get into movie podcasting listening, and you're scared, you don't know what's going on, and you decided to take a chance on us, well, hopefully you can stay, because we will convince you to be movie lovers and movie fans of this community and the art itself, film. It's just it's what we love, it's what we like to talk about, and hopefully you can stay and join us. If you're new, welcome once again. If you're a returning listener, welcome back. What we typically do is we'll go over some, movie trailers or movie news throughout the week, and we'll commentate on that. And then we'll usually have reviews of movies that come out on Friday, whether it be a blockbuster, indie, 2 blockbusters, 2 indies, whatever we want to do, we do it for you. We cover the whole spectrum in the film industry, and of course, box office results to accompany that. Well, this is episode 229, and we ain't doing any of that. So if this is your first time listening, I apologize. We ain't going to do the traditional format for a couple weeks. And that's just because we get into the, typical episodes that we do around this time. And this week's episode will be over the summer movie preview, where we're going to look over, May, June, July, and August, week by week, and just kind of give our thoughts on the movies coming out. And yes, we will cover all the releases coming out. If we've at least heard of them, we will talk about them. So that will be this week. And then, of course, next week we'll be going over the Dallas International Film Festival. So no regular show there. It's going to be kind of like this, where it's going to be freestyle, just kind of going over what we saw. And then, of course, when Deadpool 2 comes out, that's when we'll get back to the regular schedule of programming. And before we introduce the co-host over there and our esteemed guest, if you guys would like to spread this around, whether you're listening to iTunes, iHeartRadio, Spreaker, SoundCloud, whatever you are listening on right now, even if you are on the toilet or working out or driving to work, please spread this around and let people know this is the definitive movie podcast on the interwebs. Co-host over there in the corner, he is alive, he is well, and he's ready to go over the 3 months that plague the summer. Joel, how are we doing this week?
Well, 4 months, because you keep forgetting about August. But
oh my God, Joel, just accept the fact that summer is May, June, and July, and that is it. August is only there as a courtesy because of you.
This is true. I did add it on. I'm doing pretty good. It's not been a full week since we last talked, but I saw Avengers again, and I continued the Harry Potter thing with my assistant manager at my store. We're up through Goblet of Fire now, so he's enjoying that. Otherwise, just working and stuff. So been pretty good. Uneventful though.
Yeah, you and I are about to embark on our Dallas International Film Festival adventure. I just got my pass today because we're recording this on a Thursday. So by the time you guys listen to this right now on Sunday, we'll already be halfway dead. So don't try to contact us. We will be zombies, and that's just the way it'll go. But yeah, that's what we're doing this week. I didn't really see anything new. It's been kind of just been keeping it chill, just ready for the onslaught of movies that we're about to do. We got our list ready to go, but we're not gonna spoil the list for you guys. You guys are gonna have to find out on Sunday what we saw. But we are joined by guests. He has been on before, and Graham is a good friend of ours, and he owns and is the CEO and the godfather of the Zima podcasting network. He is back on once again. Graham, how are we doing this time around? And would you like to explain the little mishap for our listeners as to all the miscommunication that we had on this week?
Well, first of all, I'm doing great, so thank you for having me back. I know the last time we did this, tech errors really hurt the episode, but it was still good. It was always a fun time, and it was a great time. And so I'm glad to be back. What else was I going to say? Yeah, I mean, the communication, it's whatever. We're here now, so that's all that really matters.
It's true, but Joel and I like to screw up because we're human, and so Joel gives wrong times. I forget to tell which day to Graham. It's just guys. let me just tell you something.
I guess I could say I'll say what happened. So basically, we had this kind of cooking up for a while, but I don't think either of us really clearly communicated to Graham what was going on.
Which I feel bad because now he's like pointing at us, going, "These guys, these guys."
Yeah, I know. See, literally right now, we've got all of our cameras open, and he's just glaring. We can only see his eyes. They're just glaring death. I'm just kidding. Okay, so then when we were coming up to it, literally last night, Chase and I realized, oh my gosh, we didn't actually set a time for this, so we don't know when we're recording. And then I kind of set a time that was, and I quote, 8:30 Graham's time, because I thought that he was in a different time zone. So as of right now, I have been on a call with Chase for an hour and 45 minutes because we got on at like 7:15. So anyway,
to be fair though, we've had a very wholesome, emotional conversation, Joel. You act like it was just a throwaway.
No, I mean we've been talking about it.
In defense of me for a second, folks. Let me just tell you, and I'm going to tell Graham this because I tell this to all my friends that are currently in college. When you get older, it's going to suck. You're going to get tired, you're going to hate everything, and you're going to forget a bunch of stuff. I'm on a bunch of meds for my disease, and that causes fatigue. I get tired all the time. I don't have a car. I walk all the time. I forget stuff, and I was just so angry because like when Joel called me, I was like, I could have sworn I told Graham, Thursday at a time. But I guess that was all in my head. It was an imagination. It was a fantasy, and but that's okay though, because Graham's right. We are here, and we're ready to do this.
I think like the only communication I had was way early on, wasn't it, Graham? Like I just asked, are you good with this? And then we didn't talk about it for months.
Good with this?
Yeah.
Are you good with on the episode? And then that was it. Like I don't think we ever talked about anything else.
Yeah, no.
So,
well, okay. The true test will be when we post this. If Graham is not embarrassed by this entire story, because we just revealed on the internet that we're incapable of scheduling stuff. If we post this and Graham wants to come back, then we win. It's all good. So yeah, but we're doing the summer movie preview, gentlemen, and so let's not waste any more time. Joel is going to start off with May. So Joel, what do we got going on for literally tomorrow? Because we're recording this on Thursday, and so May 4th is the first. Started the first weekend. So what's going on in that May month?
Yeah, so basically tomorrow the most significant release is really Tully from Jason Reitman, and that's limited release kind of because it's I know it's kind of wide, but there's some places where it's expanding next week. So that's kind of the most significant one. But you also have a remake of that movie Overboard from the 90s with I think Goldie Hawn, and this one's got Anna Faris. Or 80s. I'm sorry, it was an 80s movie, and that's got Anna Faris and Eugenio Derbez and Eva Longoria. It looks kind of stupid to me. And then you have this really nifty-looking thriller that I'm probably going to catch up on a Blu-ray called Bad Samaritan, which has Doctor Who. David Tennant is in it. It's bizarrely from Dean Devlin, whose last directorial effort was Independence Day Resurgence. So that's not very good. But or no, I'm sorry, it was Geostorm. I didn't see Geostorm, but in any case, yeah, I'm gonna say that the most important and good-looking one here though is Tully, for sure. So then you have I guess, do we go week by week or month by month? Because I can just
we go week by week, fam. There's a lot to take in.
Yeah.
No, but you're totally right. I said you're totally right. You're totally right, Joel. Tully is the most significant thing to come out this first weekend. It looks really great. I like Reitman's work. I love, Juno Up in the Air. I just think the guy has a really great knack for making grounded stories with characters we actually care about. And of course, Charlize Theron was also in Young Adult, which is a really great one that no one really ever talks about. Her and Patton Oswalt, what a great duo. But I like the Reitman Diablo Cody mix, so that would be definitely my pick for the weekend. Graham, are you gonna catch Tully sometime soon? Are you a fan of the Reitman?
I am a big fan of Reitman, so I'm looking forward to this movie. I'm not sure if I'll catch it this weekend, but I definitely in the next few weeks I'm going to try to get this one. I mean, obviously, what else is there to say about him? He's produced films like Up in the Air and Juno. I mean, that right there is enough to warrant me seeing anything that he puts out, because I'm especially a big fan of Juno.
Yeah, if he can bounce back from Men, Women, and Children, that'll be nice, because that movie really was terrible. So
yeah, so I'm banking on his talents that he brought to Juno and Up in the Air, and hopefully this one looks good, or hopefully this one will be good. It does look good, I think, in my opinion. And I mean, obviously, I'm also a big fan of Charlize Theron, so there's a lot to be said about this movie, and I'm definitely looking forward to it. So yeah, Tully's my pick, hands down.
All right, yeah. So Tully's all of our picks. The next weekend is, of course, next weekend, May 11th, and we have 4 pretty significant releases here. The first one is Life of the Party, which is the new Melissa McCarthy comedy. Whatever, it's big old whatever for me. I don't think it looks terrible. I just doesn't look really that great. Kind of looks like she's doing something along the lines of The Boss again, and I didn't like that movie. So whatever on that one. Breaking In, this is the Gabrielle Union thing where she's locked out of her house where her kids are being held hostage, and she fights back, and they underestimate her. I actually think this looks pretty fun in that sort of trashy 90s thriller kind of way, sort of along the lines of something like The Perfect Man or The Perfect Guy from a few years ago, where you get a major black star, put him in a dramatic thriller like this. I think it looks pretty fun. It's from the director of V for Vendetta, interestingly enough. Doesn't seem like it, but that is who directed it, James McTeague. And then you have The Seagull, which is an adaptation of was it a novel? No, it was a play. It was a play, that's right. By Anton Chekhov, and it's got a great cast: Saoirse Ronan, Annette Bening, Corey Stoll, Elizabeth Moss, Brian Dennehy, Mare Whittingham, John Tenney. Great cast. This one looks terrific. Really, really good. It's about an aging actress who pays her brother a visit on a country estate, and it just kind of takes place in that house or around that house. And yeah, really excited for that one. And then Terminal, which looks really cool. It's the Margot Robbie revenge thriller that has sort of a neon kind of feel. And I think that 3 of these actually look really good, but I'm going to go with The Seagull. That's my pick. I think it looks just really literate and involving, and yeah, one of 2 Saoirse Ronan movies that we're going to be getting within a month, and after Lady Bird, I'm in. So that's my pick. Chase, what is yours?
Oh, let's see. Well, Life of the Party is equivalent to Warner Brothers coming out like on a stage, kind of like what Marvel does at like big events where they want to announce stuff. And so Warner Brothers like gets on stage and like they have like the lights going, they have the speakers working, they have the microphone. They're about to say something significant, and then the CEO just walks on stage, scratches his nuts, and just walks off. And then we're all confused, and we're like, well, what was that? That's exactly how Life of the Party was when I saw the trailer. It's just a huge wet fart that just kind of like came on YouTube. I'm like, I'm good, fam. Breaking In actually does look like a lot of fun. I saw the trailer to that and the poster, and it looks like it reminds me of No Good Deed with Taraji P. Henson and Idris Elba that came out a few years ago. The Seagull is definitely looks really great. Saoirse Ronan, that's your girl. But the trailer looks really great. But my pick is The Terminal, just because I like that dark type of stuff, and I just want to see Mike Myers. I love my boy Mike Myers. Of course, the last time I saw him was in Good Old Inglourious Bastards, so yeah. that was a lot of fun. And of course, I like Margot Robbie and Simon Pegg, and that one does have kind of like that neo-noir type of flavor, and I'm always down for that. So that's actually my pick. Graham, do any of these tickle your fancy?
I'm going to go also with Terminal on exclusively the cast alone.
Yes.
I'm really interested to see Margot Robbie and Simon Pegg and obviously Mike Myers as well. Not much to be said about the director Von Stein, mostly because this is his first feature that I've seen that he's actually made. It looks like, I was doing some research, he's only been AD on, or assistant director, on productions up to this point. So it'll be kind of interesting to see what that, this is basically his debut. And to have a debut with that cast will be very, very interesting. But I'm going to go Terminal. The only hesitance is, once again, this is a first-time director. So will Von Stein produce something interesting and memorable?
All right, so the Seagull for me, Terminal for the other two on the podcast.
Grant, did you notice how he said the other two? Like, he was so offended that we didn't pick the Seagull that he didn't want to say our names.
Yeah.
Right.
He who must not be named and he who must not be named. I'm just kidding. All right, so moving to May 18th, there are 4 movies here that I really know about. The first one is Deadpool 2. I wonder what that is. I'm just kidding. The next one is First Reformed, which is Paul Schrader's new movie from A24 with Ethan Hawke, Amanda Seyfried, and Cedric Kyles. Or should I say Cedric the Entertainer. And then that one's a sort of a thriller about a priest who is struggling with the death of his son. And so it's a interesting story. And then Book Club, which is about a group of old women who bond over 50 Shades of Grey. It's the weirdest thing that exists. And then Show Dogs, which is the latest kids movie from director Raja Gosnell, who's directed stuff like Big Mama's House, Beverly Hills Chihuahua, The Smurfs, the first Scooby-Doo. So obviously it's the hidden gem of the year. It's about a bunch of sentient dogs who go undercover. There's a police dog that goes undercover in a dog show, and I'm talking about the plot of a movie called Show Dogs. Okay, for me it's pretty easy. The pick here is First Reformed. I think that Book Club and Show Dogs look like they are fascinating in that they exist for all the wrong ways. And then Deadpool 2, I've been vocal about this. I think it looks bad. So I don't know. I'm just not sold on that. But for me, the clear choice clearly is First Reformed, which I think looks absolutely fantastic. And Chase, you're getting to see this on Saturday. And I don't like you. So
it's gonna be awesome. No, I'm seeing First Reformed in a few days. I'm actually seeing Deadpool 2 in a week, and so I will know furthermore on those two. Book Club and Show Dogs. You know what's really funny about Book Club is that I forgot where I was at, but I was like in a building somewhere where they had a TV, right? And I looked up, and that's what it was. It was at this restaurant I went to for lunch, and I looked up, and it was like some shitty soap opera. I forgot what it was. It went to a commercial, right? And it had this TV spot for this movie called Book Club. I was like, is this the first time they've been advertising this? Because I didn't even know this even existed until like 2 days ago. So I'm sure a bunch of wonderful housewives, lonely housewives, will probably go see that. Show Dogs. Rest in peace, Will Arnett. All right, Deadpool 2 and First Reformed. I mean, it's hard to pick, but obviously I'm going with A24. First Reformed looks fantastic. Ethan Hawke, I am all for that. And plus, I want to see Cedric the Entertainer Kyles in a actual serious role. So that is definitely my pick. But Deadpool 2, I'm still excited for. I'm on the opposite of Joel. I'm not like cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs over the first one. I think it's a solid movie. It's definitely entertaining for sure. But I want to see David Leitch, continue on the director's chair with the sequel because I really like the John Wick franchise and the kind of creative, hand it has with action sequences, which is what Deadpool desperately needed in the first one. It looks like they're going to up the ante in the second one, and when you have one of the John Wick people behind it, it's going to be at least stylish and an action sense. So I will.
And then he's going to be directing the Fast and the Furious spinoff, the Hobbs and Shaw.
Hobbs and Shaw, yeah.
Yeah, which I don't really care about, but I know that you like that franchise. So that's pretty...
shut up! All right,
I'm just telling the truth.
Yeah, That's not the truth. That's fake news. All right, so Graham, what about you? I know we haven't talked in a while, but like, have you been kind of impressed with like A24 and just the fact that they pump out a movie like every other day, like a Nicolas Cage VOD movie?
They're the next Miramax. I mean, hands down. This is the new studio to look out for. They're making a name for themselves in all the right ways. First Reformed takes this without question. This looks honestly like this could be the performance of a lifetime for Ethan Hawke.
Yeah.
And that alone. I mean, Ethan Hawke, I've gone on record as saying is my favorite actor. And I think that this is going to culminate all of that and what I've been saying for quite a long time. And I think that this movie will be yet just another. I mean, we're going to get to some of the movies that are coming out from the studio later this summer. But this movie looks like yet another accomplishment on their front. So, and to me, I'm on the same record with you guys. I'm not about the Deadpool craze just in general. And I think this just reaffirms that for me. But I'm sure it's going to dominate the box office. And we'll see. I mean, who knows? Maybe I could be completely wrong on that, especially with the whole T.J. Miller situation. That could hinder some of its box office success. But that being said, if we're going head-to-head numbers-wise, Deadpool 2, First Reformed, I think Deadpool 2 is going to take it. But First Reformed, for me, many more people should see it. Also, remember, Paul Schrader is directing and writing this, so that's another selling point. We also have Amanda Seyfried. I mean, in terms of just the quality of the cast and the direction, I think Reformed.
Schrader's been responsible for some of the best screenplays of all time.
Yeah,
I mean, without question.
Taxi Driver and Raging Bull are major, but also The Last Temptation of Christ is probably the best Scorsese movie ever made. I'll just say that, and he wrote that, and I can't wait. It looks like what I want a faith-based movie to be.
Right.
And it's going to actually struggle with a lot of that, and it's pretty great.
Doesn't seem too preachy either. Like, that's the thing too. It doesn't seem on the nose about anything. It seems very subtle, I guess, to a certain extent, but yeah, it's definitely
nuanced.
And nuanced. Definitely.
Yeah. So First Reformed for all of us on this one. So we're yeah, this is pretty crazy. I'm going to move us to the next weekend where there's kind of only two really that I want to talk about. There's a third one that I just don't really know much about, and that's Future World. That's from James Franco. He co-directed this one, but I haven't seen or heard anything about it, so I don't know if do y'all know anything about this one? Is there really a reason to talk about this?
I didn't see the trailer to it, but it just fascinates me that James Franco is in the movie with Snoop Dogg and Method Man.
I was just going to say that.
Yeah, man, that's pretty cool. Lucy Liu, Mila Jovovich, that's a cool cast. I just don't know anything about it, so I don't know if we should. I'll maybe watch a trailer at some point, but for now I'm just going to talk about two of the others. Of course, there's Solo, which is the spin-off about Han Solo from Ron Howard, and then there's another A24 movie, How to Talk to Girls at Parties, from John Cameron Mitchell, the crazy-looking Elle Fanning, Nicole Kidman movie, where there's like some sort of alien element to the storytelling that's really interesting. I gotta say, I'm gonna go with How to Talk to Girls at Parties. I'm not going with the Star Wars movie because I don't. You know, it looks fun, but I still don't have like any particularly strong feelings toward it. So I'm gonna go with the crazy-looking A24 movie, and so that's me. I feel like that's the same thing with you, Chase.
Yeah. Listen. I'm gonna see Solo because obviously Joel's got a gun to my head, and we have to review it that week. But as far as like actual like movies I want to see, yeah, I'm going with another A24 pick. I mean, because the trailer itself. It doesn't really sell me on the movie, but you know what?
Right.
It's so weird.
We're talking about this where it feels like editors were presented with a movie where they didn't know how to sell it, so they tried their best and it didn't quote unquote work, except that it worked to make us interested.
Yeah, because it looks like the World's End on acid. So it looks like they looked at or they watched the World's End. They're like, okay, let's make the trailer like that, and they're like, this is not exactly like that, but thank you for trying. And I'm more curious about it because one, it's A24 that plucked this out of nowhere and was like, all right, we're gonna distribute this, and of course because it looks really weird. But I mean, Solo looks solid. I don't understand all these pundits that I've been hearing the past couple days. Oh, it's gonna break all these records and it's gonna be so popular. I just don't hear anyone talking about it. Like even like the most hardcore Star Wars fans, they're lukewarm on it. Like, where are they getting this buzz from? So I don't know. I'm a little confused about that. But I mean, Graham, if you had to pick once again between the blockbuster and A24, what are you going with?
Can I also say this ties along with what you were just talking about with Solo? I almost have this feeling that Disney should have pushed Solo a few months later because they're colliding with Infinity War hype. And yes, a Star Wars movie is going to sell itself, correct. But for Marvel not to give themselves or to designate the full amount of time and attention and promotion to just Solo while having to balance that with Avengers, it's a little interesting that that's how they lined up. That being said, I'm also in agreement that this movie just in general does not really appeal to me. I think we're in a phase right now where, well, it's we're getting all of these spin-offs and it's getting a little exhausting, especially hearing about all the ones they have planned moving forward, all these different trilogies that they have in development. It's just a little concerning in that front. And I mean, once again, we go back to A24. Anything they put out, I'm going to give it a shot because they have yet to show me something that I have at least had a good time with. Like I've enjoyed everything that I've seen from them so far. So until they prove me otherwise, I'm sticking with A24, and I'm in agreement with both of you.
All right, so I'm going to pose this same question to both of you because you both picked the same choices. Tully, Terminal, First Reformed, and How to Talk to Girls at Parties. Graham, you first. Which is your number one of these?
Ooh, I'm going to go with First Reformed.
Okay.
Once again, just because
agree.
of Ethan Hawke. Yep.
Okay. All right, and then that's what I'm picking as well from Tully, The Seagull, First Reformed, and How to Talk to Girls at Parties. So that's our choices. That's our choice collectively for May is First Reformed. Reminder that at the end of this, we're gonna have our top, we're gonna rank our top choice from each month into a top four, kind of generally speaking, most anticipated. Of at least the choices that we make. It might not be completely accurate, of course, but nevertheless, we're moving on to June. So Chase, take it away.
All right, so we got June 1st coming up, and we got 4 of them, one of which I've actually seen already. The first one is Action Point, another film from 2/8 of the Jackass crew. Action Point is about this failing theme park, and they have to kind of up the ante and make it more immersive by doing a bunch of stunts. And so basically it's like I almost said Dirty Grandpa. I almost caught myself. Bad Grandpa. That also came out with Knoxville and the old man get up doing stunts mixed in with the narrative. It's gonna be the same thing. Then we have Adrift, which has Shailene Woodley, Sam Claflin. They are lost to sea. They are adrift. All right, and next one, American Animals, has Evan Peters, Barry Keoghan, Blake Jenner, and it's a heist film. These 4 people are American Animals. I'm sorry, I didn't read the synopsis out. And Upgrade from my boy Blumhouse, and from director-writer Lee Winnell. It stars Logan Marshall Green. And I've actually seen this, but I can't review it because I'm under embargo. However, if I had dyslexia right now, I would say it's ass bad. There you go. There's your clue, and there's your hint for how I felt about that. So out of the 4, Graham, I'll let you go first. Is there any one of these that you want to see?
This is tough. I'm gonna say I'm tempted to lean with Action Point, but it just looks like a barrel of fun. And because once again, Johnny Knoxville and the Jackass crew, anytime a part of them is involved with something. I'm in. I just basically because I can switch my brain off for a while and just enjoy it for what it is. I'm not looking for any of those movies or those type of movies to change my life in any sort of way. American Animals looks kind of interesting. They all kind of look interesting in their own way, but I'm just for the pure fun of it, I'm going with Action Point.
Okay, that was not a pick that I expected. Joel, what about you? Because we were talking about Upgrade before we recorded, so I'm assuming that this is your pick.
Yeah, I'm interested in 3 of these for various reasons. I think that Adrift looks solid. I like survival movies. I think American Animals sounds good. I haven't seen the trailer. I think one just dropped or it's about to drop or something. So certainly am interested in that. But yeah, Upgrade looks like a lot of fun. I could not care less about Action Point. I don't watch Jackass. I've never seen any of them. Yeah. It's not like it literally like not in a. I'm sorry. I kind of made that into a more condescending thing. I literally have never watched an episode of the show, never seen a movie, so I just don't have a reason to care about it. And the trailer didn't really sell me on wanting to catch up. So this is not one I plan to see. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Upgrade. It looks really cool, kind of a neon, action extravaganza, and so really looking forward to that. And that's my choice for that weekend.
And I will totally agree. Upgrade is my pick, and that's probably biased because I've already seen it. But just to back up, the Action Point thing, I'm kind of with Graham. Like I've seen the trailer numerous times, not only by myself online, but also in front of audiences, like with packed audiences. I forgot which movies they were in front of. I think one was in front of Rampage, and people laughed every single time the trailer came on. And Knoxville is just. That's just what he does, man. He does the stunts to entertain people, and it's like what Graham said. It's not something that's gonna, lift your spirits up and change your life and make you want to, be a monk or anything. But like it's, it looks like something if you want to go like waste an hour and a half with, sure. And I actually would rather watch this, and I haven't even seen this, rather than Bad Grandpa. Bad Grandpa was fine, but like I like the narrative of this more because this lends itself to more stunt heavy scenes rather than Bad Grandpa where it had the narrative but they just kind of squeezed in the stunts and it didn't really mesh well, if that makes any sense. But Action Point looks like it actually could benefit from the real life stunts. So I don't know, maybe Graham and I are crazy and maybe Joel's the same one, whatever. All right, so moving on to June 8th, we have Ocean's 8, the next installment in the Ocean's franchise is all female cast this time around, directed by good old Gary Ross. Hunger Games 1, folks. All right, next one is actually another one that I will be seeing on the same day as First Reform, and once again, Joel's just raising his fist in anger. Won't You Be My Neighbor, the good old Mr. Rogers documentary that's literally played, I'm not even joking, because I go to the Alamo Drafthouse a lot for my movie watching, and that trailer plays in front of every single movie in the past 2 months that I have been to, including Avengers. So that's great that like a documentary is getting airtime in front of Avengers crowd. That's awesome. Hotel Artemis. There's a reason why I skipped the last one, Joel, so don't worry. Hotel Artemis, directed by Drew Pearce. Stars Jodie Foster, Sterling K. Brown, Jeff Goldblum, Dave Bautista. What is happening? This one actually has a pretty cool premise. There is this hotel that, it's like disguised as a hotel, but it's like a hospital that hitmen can go to and basically criminals to get patched up. No questions asked, but there's rules. Make sure you don't have a gun, all that stuff. And Jodie Foster takes care of them. Obviously, something goes wrong, and then of course, stuff happens. But it looks like a lot of fun. It actually has a lot of John Wick vibe to it, and I'm all down for that. But the one I'm looking forward to this week, yes, even more than the Mr. Rogers documentary, because I really want to see that, it's Hereditary. It is Hereditary. Like, this is going to be my pick for the entire month. I'm going to just jump the gun. It's A24 once again, but this trailer looks batshit insane, and I could not be happier. When you have critic quotes in trailers, you're going to get 2 responses from me. you're going to get either eye rolls because they push it too hard, or you're going to have critic quotes that actually make me want to see it more because people were like freaked out that much. And there was one that was like a modern day Exorcist. Listen, if you're going to put like stakes in that claim right there, I have to see this. And plus the trailer, it's edited in such a kind of like chaotic, like anxiety filled way that I have to see it. Just because it plays to what I like in horror films, where they're mind fucks, and I absolutely love those types of movies. So, Joel, I'll go to you first on this one. You got to pick now, because I know you're looking forward to Hereditary, but I know you're down for that Mr. Rogers too. I mean, like, which way are you going?
It's pretty tough. I mean, all of these look interesting to various degrees. You know, Ocean's 8 looks pretty fun. I like the cast. Hotel Artemis, again, kind of the same thing with stuff like, you know, Terminal and Upgrade, kind of that neon vibe that I like. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty difficult between the Mr. Rogers documentary because I have such an emotional connection to that, having, you know, watched it religiously growing up. Mr. Rogers was a fundamental part of my childhood. But, yeah, I'm going to go with Hereditary. I think that this movie looks terrifying in ways that are deeply psychological.
Like, I don't think we're ready for it. Like, that's
I
how,
really don't either,
like,
because of what I've
be.
been hearing. Yeah, I mean, it just sounds absolutely horrifying, and I can't go with anything else. It looks incredible. It looks like Toni Collette looks great in this. The whole concept looks great. It looks visually stunning. So yeah, I'm going to go with Hereditary. Graham, are you once again going with A24?
Yeah. Yeah, this is the only one that really piques my interest. Oh, no, that's not true. That's true. Take that back. Won't You Be My Neighbor looks pretty good. And I was the same way. Mr. Rogers was a huge part of my childhood. But yeah, Hereditary, I mean, just the trailer alone was super unsettling. And I'm really curious to see the direction the movie takes. So I'm going with Hereditary.
I really wish that Won't You Be My Neighbor was in the previous week.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, because, I mean, I hate feeling like I've dismissed it because, again, many of the, you know, as much as obviously you learn from parents and family and stuff, in terms of other kind of external reference points, many of the values that I hold were, you know, reinforced by Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. And I don't think I would be the person I am right now without that show. So it's just kind of one of those things where, what is it? Is it the filmmaking, or is it the documentary about the thing that's – and it just – for me, I have to go with that because I feel like if Won't You Be My Neighbor was on June 1st, it would easily win that weekend. It wouldn't even be a question. But because it's a question, and I got to go with Hereditary this time. So – yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, it's tough. You know, if you have A24 slapped in front of your trailer, it's most likely that we're going to pick it. It's just that's how predictable we are. But for next week, June 15th, I already know which way Joel's going to go, so Joel doesn't even matter in this scenario. But I'm actually curious on what Graham does, because I don't think we've ever talked about these types of movies. But June 15th, we have The Incredibles 2, the long-awaited sequel, because Brad Bird had nothing else better to do. But hey, we're going to push out 2 Cars films. But whatever, Pixar, whatever. You know, this is the continuation of the Incredibles film, which is regarded as a lot of people's favorite Pixar film, or at least top 3. I'm looking forward to it. Then you got Tag from Warner Brothers. I didn't know he co-wrote it. Rob McKittrick. You're probably like, who's that? This is the guy that wrote and directed one of my favorite kind of underground comedies. I say underground because not a lot of people talk about it, but the people that do talk about it know what people are talking about when the references are made, and that would be Waiting, the The hotel, or not the hotel, but the restaurant movie.
I never did see that, but it looks like it's right down my alley. I want to see that.
Yeah, it's raunchy and dirty, and it's like,
yeah,
it's really funny. And of course, Ryan Reynolds is in that, and even Dane Cook is in there, and he's pretty funny. But he co-wrote Tag with Ed Helms, Jeremy Renner, Hannibal Buress is in it. He has one of the funnier lines in the movie.
Yes.
Jake Johnson, John Hamm, Isla Fisher, Annabelle Wallace, Rashida Jones. It's ridiculous, but it's a never-ending game of tag between friends, and
based on a true story.
Yeah, based on a true story, which is what they're pushing in their advertisement. But it looks like a lot of fun, and it's going to have a nice little drama edge to it, which I really enjoy. This film called Superfly. Now, if it's like a really small film, I probably won't mention it. But the fact that this is coming from Columbia Pictures, it's a big film, and so
it's a remake of a '70s blaxploitation like classic, just similar name, just space between Super and Fly. But that's at my work, and I've been curious to watch it.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds interesting, but the most interesting part, it's directed from a guy or a person named Director X.
Yeah.
That's
music video director. He's pretty popular. Yeah.
Well, you know what? I've never heard of him, so he ain't popular. And then, of course, the last one is another Saoirse Ronan movie, and Joel and I talked about the trailer a while back on Chesil Beach, and this is the kind of romance film, young love, drama, breaking up, I'm going to be with you, I'm going to not be with you, and it's, set in a different time period, so that's what we're dealing with here. My pick for this week is obviously Incredibles 2. I mean, the first one came out when I was... what was that?
15, right? Yeah.
Yeah, so I was 15, and I was a freshman in high school, and I remember watching it going, hey, Pixar just knocked another one out of the park, and, this came out right before the whole wave of superhero films. It was 3 years before Iron Man came out. It was several years before any DC movie came out. Even it was in the midst of X-Men 2 and X-Men 3, because X-Men 3 came out in 2006. So it came out right before that, right before the craze happened. But I've been wanting to see a continuation of these characters. I think all the people in the voice cast from the original group and the new group are going to mesh well. Bob Odenkirk has the most perfect voice for animation in the history of animation. I like the fact that they brought everyone back, including Craig T. Nelson, Holly Hunter, and even Samuel L. Jackson. So, Incredibles 2 all day, every day. That is my pick. So, Graham, I'll go to you first on this one. Do any of these tickle your fancy?
Incredibles 2, and that's about it. It's
right.
Pretty simple. I've been waiting for this movie for quite a long time. The only thing I ever really got before it was that one video game that came out in 2005 or 6 or something like that.
Yeah.
Which
I had the same one for my old PlayStation 2.
Right, yeah. And that's about all we got in that universe since then, and I'm pretty sure that will not even be canon whatsoever. Right. So, yeah, this will be interesting to see. I was very taken back by the trailer. I did not anticipate that was the direction they were going to go with the movie. But it has me curious. Like, I feel like there's a lot that we're just not seeing in any of those trailers. So the direction of the story, especially with like things like the Underminer and like who the villain could be in this case, there's a lot of mystery. So that's what even entices me more. On top of once again waiting for this movie for countless years. So I'm going with Incredibles 2.
Well, obviously, I'm going with Tag. I'm just kidding. I'm going with Incredibles 2. I mean, it's an obvious choice. I adore the first film. I think this looks like one of the best movies of the year. I wouldn't be surprised if it ends up making my top 10, honestly. And yeah, it's just the most obvious choice. Tag looks fun, I think, and on Chesil Beach looks very affecting. But I got to go with Pixar. I've been waiting for this movie for 14 years now, and I've just about had it. So
Joel, can we explain to the folks that you literally just said in last month's movies that, oh man, I will watch anything with Saoirse Ronan. Are you telling me that you're breaking up with her this week? Because obviously you just threw her off to the side like it was nothing. You're like, Incredibles 2 all day, every day. Like, did she hurt you like in that time span? Like, what happened?
I mean, hey, this is another thing where it should just come out on the first. Because if it was on the first, that would also probably be my point. I mean, not if both that and Won't You Be My Neighbor were on the first, just if that one was, then I would probably choose that. But yeah, just because it's this weekend, I gotta go with Pixar.
Well, Joel,
so.
we don't have time for your relationship issues with Saoirse Ronan. So moving on to June 22nd is probably the most bloated, expensive, meh-looking trailer I've seen in quite some time. And we have Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom. Sure. And then, of course, A24 strikes again with Under the Silver Lake. And to be honest with you, because I'm going to jump the gun right now, it's a three-way tie this month. Hereditary is going to win for me, but Under the Silver Lake is right below that because that trailer blew me away. That is once again playing with because we talked about a couple of neo-noir type of movies. It kind of plays with that murder mystery neo-noir and modern time type of feel. Andrew Garfield's in it, and I haven't really seen him since Amazing Spider-Man. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you, that was the last thing I saw him in. And so I'm glad that he's kind of going back doing this type of stuff because he
did Silence and Hacksaw Ridge at the same time.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. But
he was
but
great
still.
he was great in Silence.
Yeah,
so,
he was great in Silence. I forgot about that. Sorry. Now I love that movie, but I'm glad that he's doing like kind of smaller stuff because this reminded me when I saw the trailer. It kind of reminded me of when I saw 99 Homes, where they have such a great just indie feel. It just got down to the nitty gritty and he showcased his acting, and that's what I want to see. So yeah, it's pretty short for this weekend. Joel, obviously I know which one you're going to pick because Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom is definitely on your most anticipated list of the year.
Oh yeah, totally. My most anticipated terrible movies. Yeah, no, it looks like a big pile of crap to me, so I'm going with Under the Silver Lake. It just has this Inherent Vice kind of vibe.
Yeah.
Maybe end up being less of a comedy, but nevertheless, it has that vibe, and I love Inherent Vice, and I love this material, and I love David Robert Mitchell, and this looks like his third knockout in a row. So, I'm looking forward to it, and I'm a big Andrew Garfield fan. So easily, no question about it, Under the Silver Lake. In fact, Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom is probably my least anticipated movie of June. So yeah, that's.
I mean, Graham, are we going to be predictable again, and are we all going to pick it?
Yep.
Okay. Well.
No questions asked. And mind you, too. Under the Silver Lake includes Topher Grace and Andrew Garfield, so a collision of the two Spider-Man universes. That's not a selling point. I don't know what is.
I mean, it's true. They should have had that in the marketing, and we would have been like, "What?" Yeah, no, obviously, pick for all of us. All right, moving on to the last weekend, and I got a funny story about the last one, but we have Sicario, Day of the Soldado, and I was telling Joel this, and Graham will tell you and everyone else once again. Once this movie comes out, we have a very strong possibility that Josh Brolin will have 3 movies in theaters. Wrap your heads around that, folks. That's insane. Anyways, it stars him and Benicio del Toro, and they're reprising their roles back from the first Sicario. I actually think it looks really great. I've liked the trailers for it. So yeah, you got that. You got The Hustle, which is a remake of Dirty Rotten Scoundrels with Anne Hathaway and Rebel Wilson. Cool. Haven't seen anything for that. Leave No Trace is a trailer that we just talked about last weekend with Ben Foster, with him playing a soldier with PTSD. He takes him and his daughter out to the woods, and they kind of isolate themselves from society, and looks really touching and sweet. And then, of course, this last one. So here's the story on this last one. You know, when I see big blockbusters or a superhero film, I expect trailers to have that blockbuster punch where it's like, hey, we're going to compete with Avengers. We want you to be excited for this movie that we're going to advertise in front of the Avengers, right? Now, I saw the first trailer to this, and it looked like ridiculous fun, and I actually laughed in had a good time with it. But it kind of struck me as odd that not only did they play Won't You Be My Neighbor in front of both Avengers screenings, but they played Uncle Drew both times. I could not believe that they played that in front of the audience. It's ballsy because you're getting in front of a lot of more eyeballs, but no one really laughed in that trailer or in that theater. It was really awkward, and I was like, why is Uncle Drew like the most popular trailer that they picked? Like, whatever. Anyways, this one, old man playing basketball, cool. It has like a, it kind of has like a more adult version of Like Mike with little Bow Wow. So take that for what you will. But I mean, when I saw the trailer for the first time, it looked interesting and it looked like goofy fun. But the more times I watched the trailer, especially from the audience, it was like dead silence. So yeah, my pick is Sicario, Day of the Soldado. But that Leave No Trace trailer was pretty good, and I love me some Ben Foster. You know what? I'm going to go with that one. I'm going to shock the audience. I'm going to go with Leave No Trace just because I like that trailer. I like the trailer of Sicario as well, but I know that one's going to be good. I had no idea Leave No Trace even existed, so I think that's what I'm going with, the more surprising element, because that trailer sold me. So, Graham, do any of these strike you as something you would want to watch? Because they are all radically different.
Yeah, I'm going to go with also Sicario because, I was a big fan of the first one. Kind of curious to see where the story goes now, moving forward. And, I'm also a pretty big fan of Taylor Sheridan, who wrote not only this, he wrote the first one, he's also written Hell or High Water, and so I've been a pretty big fan of his writing. So that sells me alone. I'm kind of curious also to see now that Emily Blunt, like why she's. Obviously I know. Do you remember? I just want to misspeak. Why Emily Blunt's not returning for the sequel?
She might have been shooting. I don't know. She might have been shooting Mary Poppins Returns. I doubt it though.
Okay. I was just curious because that was kind of obviously she was the star of the first one. So kind of take a different direction now. It'll be just kind of interesting to see where, like I said, where the story goes from here. But I'm still going with Sicario, yeah.
So just a reminder that Chase switched and he did Leave No Trace. I just wanted to make sure you knew that because you said also Sicario.
Oh, okay, yeah. Sicario. Excuse me, Sicario. That's my pick, not also.
Well, I'm going with Leave No Trace. I think that Sicario looks weirdly underwhelming for a sequel to the first one. It looks okay.
You're really underwhelming.
Did
you see that coming from a mile away? You sure did.
I did. I swerved long before it reached me. Okay. Uncle Drew looks weird and wacky and like a strange good time. I don't know, but I'm going with Leave No Trace. I think it looks really effective, and yeah, so that's my choice. It's interesting because we're actually not going to be talking about any of these movies on that show because that's that'll be the mid-year report weekend. So
yep.
In any case, Leave No Trace is my choice and Chase's choice. So let's see. Graham, you had Action Point, Hereditary, Incredibles 2, Under the Silver Lake, and Sicario, Day of the Soldado. So what is your number one?
Incredibles 2, just based on the nostalgia. Close second, Under the Silver Lake, but I'm going to give it to Incredibles 2 just on the pure nostalgia factor.
All right, Chase, you had Upgrade, which I don't think should count, but whatever. Hereditary, Incredibles 2, Under the Silver Lake, and Leave No Trace. So what's your number one?
Okay, just so Joel isn't sour for the rest of the show, I will change my answer for the first one. I'd actually go with American Animals because Adrift looks whatever, and Action Point looks fun, but if we're talking like legit, like which one am I actually going to be affected by? American Animals looks pretty dope. But my pick is Hereditary. It wasn't going to matter what I picked anyways. Hereditary is going to be my winner.
Yeah. That's mine as well. Hereditary.
Wow. Well, hold on. So you would choose that over Incredibles 2?
Yeah.
Wow.
I think so.
It's
really close. It's like a four-way tie because I love the Leave No Trace trailer. Yeah, it's really tough, but I got to say Hereditary.
Damn.
I got to say Hereditary.
The horror movie won you over. I'm proud of you.
So, Incredibles 2 and then two picks for Hereditary, right?
Yep.
All right. I'm just kind of trying to keep track here. So, okay. We're moving into July now. The first weekend, we've got the first Purge on a Wednesday. Whatever. And then I love you, Chase. And then Ant-Man and the Wasp, and that, of course, is the sequel to Ant-Man, and it finds him teaming up with the Wasp, played by Evangeline Lilly. And then Sorry to Bother You is that crazy-looking social satire from Boots Riley with Lakeith Stanfield as a black guy who has to use a white voice, and specifically the voice of David Cross, in order to make his calls. He's a call operator person, the sales guy. I'm going to go with Sorry to Bother You. I think that Ant-Man looks like a lot of fun. I think the first Purge looks whatever. But I think Sorry to Bother You looks like just a ball of crazy, wacky, but pointed fun. And so, yeah, I got to go with Sorry to Bother You. That's my choice. So, Graham, I'll go to you first. Which of these three tickles your fancy the most?
I'm also going with Sorry to Bother You.
Yeah.
I think Ant-Man and the Wasp could be, like you said, a lot of fun. I'm a big fan of Paul Rudd, and especially in this MCU. But Sorry to Bother You for the exact same reasons you pointed out.
Yeah. Chase, what's your choice?
I agree. I really enjoyed the kind of like weird kookiness of the trailer, because that trailer like caught me off guard because I didn't know anything about the movie. And so when it starts out with like him talking to Tessa Thompson, like, get a job or whatever, it's like, okay, cool, gotta go get a job. And when he gets into the call operator office, and it's like, okay, it's gonna be one of these types of movies. And then when the David Cross voice started coming in, I was like, okay, this is gonna be like some weird sci-fi fantasy type of comedy mixture, and I'm totally down for it. Ant-Man and the Wasp, the trailer looks great. In the first Purge, I'm a fan of that franchise. Sue me. And of course, it's from my boy Jason Blum. I actually am curious to see like how it started. There you go. That's all I got to add to that. But I mean, Sorry to Bother You is definitely my pick, just because if you're gonna attempt to make anything unique or weird or out there, and also add social commentary on top of it, I'm always gonna pick you. Like, that's just the way it goes. But that trailer won me over when I saw it, and it's gonna win over here.
Yeah. All right, so we agreed again. We've been agreeing a lot on this one.
Just because we have good taste.
Yes, exactly. All right, so this next weekend is a strange case of being what I think, even though I'm not going to say that I think every one of these movies looks great, I think it's the ideal release weekend. Let me explain. We've got two big blockbusters, one of which is an action movie, one of which is an animated movie. And then we've got two indies battling that are from A24 and Amazon. The two big companies right now that are dominating a lot, except for Netflix. All right, so we have first of all Hotel Transylvania 3 Summer Vacation, which I could not care less about. Fun fact, so I was planning to see the second movie back in 2015 when it came out, and to that end, I caught up with the first Hotel Transylvania, and then I had forgotten about it so thoroughly that I forgot to see the second one. So I never saw the second one, and now the third one's coming out. And yeah, I don't have any desire to see it. I don't think it looks particularly terrible. It looks harmless, but it just looks like the kind of harmless that is, not my thing. Then we have Skyscraper, which is the new Dwayne Johnson movie. It seems like he has a movie coming out every 5 seconds. This one looks kind of fun. It's basically this big, gigantic, tall skyscraper that is an entire city, essentially. is in the air and part of it goes on fire. Gotta say, I don't want to be a stickler about logic with these movies so much, but nothing about that setup makes sense to me. Particularly because 9/11 happened, and I know that I'm evoking something that's 17 years old, but the thing is that there's something that would happen to that building that I don't think we're prepared for. Anyway, and then we have the two indies. There's one that Chase and I are going to be seeing within the next week, and that is Eighth Grade, which I think looks amazing. It's from A24. It's Bo Burnham's feature debut. Of course, I've been following him for a while now. And then it's got Elsie Fisher, who was in the Despicable Me movies, plays an eighth grade vlogger, and she's kind of following her her last few weeks of eighth grade. So that one looks great. And then Don't Worry, He Won't Get Far on Foot, which is the new Gus Van Sant movie with Joaquin Phoenix and Jonah Hill and Jack Black. I never thought I would say that sentence. I felt like this looked weirdly underwhelming when we saw the trailer. I don't know. Maybe it was just the cut of the trailer, but I'm not super interested yet. I've got to see more of that. So my choice is pretty clearly eighth grade. So I'll go to Chase first. Is this? I mean, we're seeing it within the week, but would this be your choice anyway?
Yeah. Listen, I never saw the second Hotel Transylvania because cool. You know what's really funny is that people, will rag on Sandler doing his comedies and whatever. That's fine. It's like a joke at this point. But what's funny enough is that the Hotel Transylvania movies actually make him a lot of money, and it's actually kind of interesting that animation is what he kind of clings on to, because he's actually honestly not that bad in the movie. I don't really care for them, and he actually works better in an animated form, doing voices or playing these like larger than life characters, because that's kind of his personality when he wants to show it. So it actually works out for him. So good for him. Skyscraper looks ridiculous. It's from the director of Dodgeball. Stars Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Sure. I will say about The Rock is that, yes, we can joke that he's like the movie theater version of Nick Cage, where he's like just pumping out movies left and right. And, I got to hand it to him. Rampage was entertaining in some parts. So it's like, you know what? If you could take these ridiculous, stupid ideas and like turn them somewhat entertaining, I'm fine with that. Don't Worry, He Won't Get Far on Foot. The trailer looked fine. I think I'm just more interested in seeing it because Joaquin Phoenix, Jonah Hill, and Jack Black are in a movie all of a sudden together. So that is that. But yes, Joel is correct. We're seeing it within a week. Eighth grade looks fantastic. Another A24. And you're probably thinking to yourself, are you guys ever going to like just say no to an A24 movie? Actually, there's one coming out at the end of this month that I'm going to say that to. But for right now, they're still on a hot streak because that is also my pick.
That scares me because I think the one you're talking about is one that I'm really excited for. Ooh,
that's going to be interesting.
Yeah, eighth grade for me is easy. Easy victory there. I was kind of with you, Joel. I thought that Don't Worry, He Won't Get Far on Foot looked kind of underwhelming, which is disappointing.
Yeah, it kind of looks flat to me,
Yeah, it looks like, obviously the cast is fantastic, and then obviously Gus Van Sant is quite fantastic in his own right, but I just thought the trailer itself didn't sell me on it. Skyscraper, I'm getting a little rocked out, I'm not going to lie.
I'm getting a little rocked out.
I'm glad you appreciate that. I like The Rock, and obviously he's a great human being, and he's very charismatic, but I think he might be spreading himself a little too thin. I'm saying that hesitantly because I know there's a huge diehard fan base for him, but
it's getting a little bit saturated. Like we just had Rampage, and at the time of Rampage, we had just had Jumanji, and it's just like, come on, you don't need a movie literally every season,
Yeah,
because that's what it is at this point.
And I'm glad that he's working very consistently. He's by far becoming one of the most successful actors in terms of financially, especially at the present moment. But That being said, I think he is spreading himself a little too thin. Eighth Grade looks just fantastic. It looks like a very perfect encapsulation of that time.
Yeah.
You know, I've never seen a movie look just so natural in terms of like that. Like, all the circumstances that we were watching unfold in that trailer, I've been in those circumstances. So, and I don't want to speak for everyone who, you know, went through that time in their life, but for me personally, I connected with a lot of that kind of stuff. And obviously, I was not a girl in eighth grade, but I still, a lot of the things that I was seeing, I could connect to. So anyway, yeah, eighth grade is easy pick for me.
Yet another agreement. All right. So then the third weekend is the 20th, and we got one completely disinteresting one, and that's Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again, which, whatever. I didn't see the first one.
It's horrible. So
actually
you don't have to see it.
Oh, it is? Okay. Well, actually, my original plan was to see this one, and so to, catch up with the first one, but there's one that's coming out that I didn't know about at the time that I had made that decision originally, so I've backed out of that. In any case, we have that. Great, whatever. If you're looking forward to it, that's great. I'm not. The Equalizer 2, which looks pretty fun. Looks like it's gonna move that story forward. It's pretty neat. With Denzel, avenging the death of his boss, played by Melissa Leo, and also added to the cast, and I didn't realize that until just now, I don't think, is I believe the middle Chiron from Moonlight. Ashton Sanders is in that. It's pretty cool. But the clear winner for me is Blind Spotting, which has Daveed Diggs and Ethan Embry, and it's a story about racial tension through this sort of interesting dramatic comedy kind of vibe, and I really like the trailer, and it's playing Diff. I don't know if we have it in our schedule, but I'd love to make room for that. In any case, it looks terrific. So that's my clear choice. It looks a lot better than the other two. So, Blind Spotting is my choice. Chase, you in the same boat? I assume you are.
Yeah, because that trailer was really awesome. Like, it started out as almost like a bad 90s comedy, and I was like, okay, where's this going? And then it starts to really turn into this kind of like surreal dark direction where you're like, oh wow, these are problems that we are facing today, and that's kind of interesting that they put it in this type of comedy backdrop. The Equalizer 2 actually looks a lot of fun. I've actually never seen the first one, but I am all down with the Fuqua train and the Denzel Washington train, so I'll check it out. And then Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again. Cool. Graham?
It exists.
It's there.
Yeah, I'm going with the Equalizer 2. Actually, it just looks like a lot of fun. I'm curious to see where the story goes from here, but I'm hesitantly saying Equalizer 2. Yeah, I don't have much to say on this week. I haven't done my research in terms of. I mean, obviously, Mamma Mia 2 is there. It exists, but I'm going to go with the Equalizer 2.
Interesting. So 2 votes for Blind Spotting and 1 vote for the Equalizer 2 for that weekend. All right. So the final weekend is a pretty easy choice. I'm just going to go backward on this one. Hot Summer Nights is from A24, but it's also from A24 with DirecTV, and those usually provide underwhelming goodness me, they underwhelm. I had a word there and I forgot it. So yeah, it's weird that A24 actually, and I'm about to say something very controversial, and Chase is gonna reach through the microphone and strangle me, but the least successful trailer is for the A24 movie of these 3.
I agree with you. What did you think I was talking about?
Okay. No. I knew what you were talking about. I'm saying what I'm talking about right now is I think that Teen Titans Go just released a trailer that's more promising than this.
Oh, no, I totally agree.
Oh, you do? Okay. Yeah, because I mean, it looks harmless, but it looks harmless and meaningless, but Teen Titans Go actually looks kind of cute. I gotta say, I was a little surprised, and it's got the weirdest cast in the entire world. Get this. So you have the sort of the people that are always in this, like Tara Strong and Scott Menville and Carrie Payton. I believe that they always voice these characters. But then in the supporting roles, you have Will Arnett again. After Show Dogs, Kristen Bell, James Corden. So those are pretty cool people. Then you have in the last two slots of the cast list, Nicolas Cage.
No, Joel, say it
no,
with confidence.
Hold on.
Say it with confidence, though.
Okay. Nicolas Cage. And then you have the rapper known as Lil Yachty.
No, I was talking about saying him with confidence.
Oh, okay. Lil Yachty. I actually did it. Anyway, it looks harmless, looks fun, looks completely meaningless. It looks better than My Little Pony the movie looked, so that's an accomplishment. But guys, okay. Yeah, maybe you do realize I might have mentioned this before, but I'm an enormous fan of the Mission Impossible franchise. I think it's one great movie after another. They're all completely just total thrillers, awesome action, great adventures, terrific casts that commit to the sleekness and the coolness of the premises and all of that. My favorite movie is everybody's least favorite, Mission Impossible 2, but I love all of them. They're all excellent. And so for me, the clear winner for this is Mission Impossible Fallout, which has one of the best trailers of the year, cut to an Imagine Dragons song that it actually makes work. That's very rare for Imagine Dragons because they're the Nickelback of their particular part of the genre. And yeah, everything about this looks just excellent. Can't wait to see him go head to head with Henry Cavill. I love this. And so yeah, my clear choice, without a doubt, Mission Impossible Fallout. Chase, what's yours?
Same.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, with Hot Summer Nights, I kind of felt that way when you guys were talking about Don't Worry, He's Gonna Kick Your Foot in Your Ass, or whatever the movie's called. But I felt the same way watching this trailer, where I love me some Timothée Chalamet. Like that man, did something really special with Call Me by Your Name last year, and hell, he was even nominated. And I can't wait to see where he furthers his career. However, this looks a little flat. It looks like something we've seen before, and it's like I realize that movies are going to have similar premises, like kind of played out throughout the rest of the time, but at least try to mix it up a little bit. This just looks really safe. Teen Titans Go, the last trailer, yeah, sure. I'll actually buy that second trailer more than the first trailer for some weird reason.
Yeah.
And Nicolas Cage as Superman is everything that you would ever dream of, and more. And Little Yachty and Nicolas Cage are in a movie together. But yeah, it looks harmless, and it looks better than some of the other superhero parody movies that they try to do. I don't know. I think it. Yeah,
the kids animated shows that they try to, like Paw Patrol's probably going to come out soon. I would suspect, that kind of thing where they're taking these single digit age kids shows and turning them into big movie franchises like they did with My Little Pony and like they did back in the day with Doug and all of that. Just that kind of thing. This looks a little bit like it's a pretty good version of that.
Well, the thing is, I know a lot of people are, when they see Teen Titans Go, they automatically poo-poo on the idea, but think about it this way. It's from Warner Brothers in DC. And what else did they do in animated form? The Lego movies. So it's I got to give them some benefit of the doubt that they might translate that type of style to this movie minus the Lego look, and it might work. So, but Mission Impossible Fallout, I love that trailer. Joel's right. Joel's the weird one on the corner of the internet that likes number 2. But if we're talking the last 2, it happened after 3. It's like 3 was pretty damn good. And, with Philip Seymour Hoffman as the villain, you're like, okay, where can you go from here? And then, of course, you have Ghost Protocol, which blew that out of the water. You're like, okay, where are you going to go from here? Then Rogue Nation blows that out of the water, and you're like, where are you going to go from here, Tom Cruise? Are you going to dangle from something in space? And now we have this. And it's like, how much better can this franchise get? Like, it's insane. But that trailer works. I'm glad everyone's coming back. And then also, people also forget that Mission Impossible Fallout is going to have one of the most infamous mustaches in film history from that damn Justice League reshoots. Like, this is the movie, folks. So we finally get to see Henry Cavill in all of his glory and his porn stash. So
it looks like a handsome mustache. I gotta say, I'm just saying.
It's true.
Being real here, he rocks it really well. It's it goes with his face really well. Anyway, go ahead.
No, I was done. So
okay. So yeah, Graham, what are you going with on here?
I'm going Hot Summer Nights. And I know that you guys, this is the one that I was mentioning. This is actually one of my most anticipated of the year, and this is baffling. That, and here's the reason. I am actually
so Graham has left the pod. I'm just kidding.
Yes, I'm in complete agreement that the plot looks like something we've seen 100,000 times. It looks like every drug-selling movie we've seen. I'm just really, for whatever reason, and part of me thinks it's just because the trailer was well edited for me. Like, I just love that style they were trying to go for. Who knows if that's the same style that the movie's going to present. But I think it just looks visually stunning. Like, I think it looks, the look of the movie is what's really keeping me engaged. And I don't know why. Like, I've been trying to figure out why this movie looks so interesting to me, because once again, the plot looks like something we've seen 100,000 times, but for some reason, there's just something there that's piquing my interest. And then again, when we have the A24 name next to it. So yeah, I'm going Hot Summer Nights, and I'm gonna actually just say that's my most anticipated of the month.
That just floored me. Basically, Graham came on the podcast and was like, "You two are wrong. Sit your ass down and listen from the expert." And it's like, oh damn. Okay,
here's the thing too. I'm a huge Mission Impossible fan, also. So for me to say that also means a lot, because I love that franchise.
Yeah, that's what you say. You're just trying to save face, man.
Yeah, that's true. I think, and I'm agree. I think Mission Impossible movies are just getting better and better. I think that they're pushing the limits each and every time. So it's almost neck and neck. But I'm giving it Hot Summer Nights. Also on board the Timothée Chalamet train. I'm really curious to see where he goes from here. And hopefully this will be the next step.
I will probably wait for DVD on this, just because the A24 DirecTV things, they usually come out like within a week or two.
Right.
On DVD, with the theaters, because I just saw one that was one of my least favorite movies of the year, The Vanishing of Sydney Hall, which was theirs with, and again, with DirecTV, they tend to put them out in theaters for like 2 weeks. Or put them out in theaters for 1 week, and then it just comes out really soon after that. And so I'll probably do that with this one. So yes, I will be providing an extra review of Teen Titans Go. So that'll be kind of surreal, though I did it with My Little Pony, so I guess anything can happen. All right, so you've already basically given us your number one of the month, and that's Hot Summer Nights. So Chase, your choices were Sorry to Bother You, 8th Grade, Blind Spotting, and Mission Impossible Fallout. So what is your number one of those?
That's tough, because I know you're going with 8th Grade, so we don't need to talk about you. But
I am going with 8th Grade. I'll just tell people, that's my choice.
But you know what? I'm going to go with the weird one. Sorry to Bother You.
Okay, I totally get that. That's probably, it's weird. Like, these are all really close to each other, but that might be my number two. It's kind of like, it's really tough. But yeah, I'm gonna go with 8th Grade. And the fact that we're seeing it within the week, that's partly why, because I'm getting to that point where I'm in the hype circle, if you will, cycle, whatever. So yeah, that's my pick. All right, Chase, take us into August.
All right, let's wrap this summer preview up with the last month that doesn't count because people are going back to school, back to work, and everyone just hates life. All right, so August 3rd, we have an eclectic group here. We have Christopher Robin from Walt Disney with the creepiest looking Snuggles laundry bear I've ever seen on film. It will pierce
Snuggles
your soul.
laundry bear.
It looks like the Snuggles laundry bear.
Yeah, it looks more like that than Winnie the Pooh.
That is true. Christopher Robin, Hugh McGregor plays Christopher Robin. He starts taking LSD and all the animals start coming back and talking to him in a park. So that's all creepy. The Darkest Minds from 20th Century Fox, and I'm getting word that it's not an X-Men movie. Okay, that's weird. It's about a bunch of kids that have a bunch of powers. They're running from the government. Cool. The Spy Who Dumped Me. Looks awful. Mila Kunis, Kate McKinnon, they're running around the street yelling stuff with people after them. Cool. Searching. This is the one I've always been fascinated in. This one stars John Cho, and this one is basically Unfriended, but it shows through phones and computer screens. So that will be very fascinating because I actually liked Unfriended. I know, one of the weird ones, but you know what? A crime thriller that's unfriended type of shooting style. I'm all for it. And then this one, I had no idea this even existed, but it is a Peter Berg and Mark Wahlberg collaboration, which I'm always down for. And it's Mile 22. And deals with the military. And I don't want to know anything more about that. I just know that they are probably one of the best combos working because that year of Deepwater Horizon and Patriots Day was a pretty great year for them. And, of course, Lone Survivor, they're just a great duo. Searching sounds really interesting. And then the other three I really don't care about. But if I had to pick, I'm going to go with the one that everyone's probably going to poo-poo on, and that would be Searching. Because I want to see how they pull it off, just like what they did with Unfriended. Because it is possible, and if your story is engaging, it is something that you can do. So, Graham, are any of these do they speak to you? Does the demonic Winnie the Pooh Snuggles looking laundry bear, does that speak to you?
No, you can keep that. I am so against that. No, I'm going with Mile 22. I'm a big fan of the Peter Berg, Mark Wahlberg combination. Interesting to see Ronda Rousey's in it as well. If we've learned anything from her acting experience, her acting chops, there's not much to be seen. I thought her scene in Furious 7 was laughable. So we'll see what happens. But Mile 22, Peter Berg, Mark Wahlberg reteaming. Huge fan of Deepwater Horizon as well as Patriots Day. So I'm going with that one.
All right, Joel. Obviously, you're going to go with The Spy Who Dumped Me, so you can just yell in my face, right?
So, because I haven't really, I'm not super interested in Searching. I mean, I liked Unfriended, but there's only so much you can do with that concept. I guess I'm vaguely interested, but whatever. I haven't seen anything from Mile 22, and that would be what I go with, but I just need to actually see a trailer. So, yes, I actually am going with The Spy Who Dumped Me. Chase hates me.
You're going to write your memoirs, and it's going to be The Co-Host Who Dumped Me. Like that's it. This is what you deserve. This is it for you.
Yeah, I laughed so much at this trailer. I don't know. I just think it looks fun. We talked about this trailer, and we totally disagreed on it. I get, it's comedy. It's completely subjective, probably the most subjective thing. What you found to be completely unfunny, I found to be really ticklish and cute. And anyway, so Graham, are you still there?
Yep.
Oh, okay. I just heard a weird hang up noise.
No.
Anyway.
What happened was I think the internet was giving up on you having you defend this movie. That is what was happening. So we're moving on because
I just think it looks really playful and fun, and I like the Mila Kunis, Kate McKinnon pairing.
I do too, but that trailer did not sell it to me at all.
It totally. I laugh every time I see it. I've seen it quite a few times in the theaters, and I don't know. That's me for this weekend because it's a really bad weekend, honestly.
Obviously, Joel is having a seizure right now, so we're moving on to August 10th. This is these next two movies I'm going to read back to back. I can't believe this exists. So we have The Meg, which is the shark movie with Jason Statham and Dwight from The Office, so that's going to be fun. And Black Klansman also comes out this weekend. This is the new Spike Lee joint, and that's my winner. I'm going to say right there for that weekend. And of course, A24 strikes again with the visceral looking A Prayer Before Dawn. It looks really intense, and it looks beautifully shot. And this is another A24 winner, but I'm going to go with the Black Klansman because Spike Lee hasn't really made a good movie in a while, and I want to see him kind of come back into the fold. This looks like it could be it, and when you're dealing with the KKK and you're dealing with Spike Lee making an epic on this, yes. And also, once again, Topher Grace is popping up in movies. Adam Driver, Corey Hawkins from Straight Outta Compton, which will be great.
Dr. Dre.
And yep, Dr. Dre. So, I guess Joel, I'll go to you first. I mean, knowing
I'll just say it. I'm going with Black Klansman. I think that the material is really interesting. I think that it has a lot of real promise to, and apparently it's like not just because we see on we're using Wikipedia and we see crime and drama, but apparently there's a comedy edge to it too. So that's what I've been hearing, and it wouldn't be surprising considering Jordan Peele is co-producing it. So I just think that it has a real potential to be a barn burner, if you will. It's gonna turn heads and all of that. I just think it looks terrific, but it's kind of a close thing because I think that The Meg looks like a whole lot of fun, and I think that A Prayer Before Dawn, like you said, looks visceral and very, very compelling. So a bunch of really good choices, but I'm gonna go with Black Klansman at least until I see a trailer that underwhelms me or something. That would be the only way that something else would take over that. But for now, yeah, Black Klansman is mine.
So, Graham, what about you? I mean, the Meg trailer just dropped. Is that something that you would lean towards in this situation?
I'm going with Black Klansman too. I think, Chase, you pointed it out. I want to see Spike Lee redeem himself, and I think this is the ticket to that. But man, a shark movie with Jason Statham.
I know it's a pretty
that
great...
right there that makes it tough. But I'm going to go with Black Klansman. But I'm going to be seeing The Meg as well. I mean, come on, who's not going to see that movie? Probably a lot of people. But
I mean, Joel has seen some very weird double features, but this could be another one, another great double feature at the movies.
This will be a strange one for sure.
Okay, so Joel, I have to ask you, since you're the expert at weird double features, which one do you want to start with, and which one you want to end with?
Ooh, man, I might go with Black Klansman first, so that I end on something lighter, which is weird considering it's a shark movie. But in any case, I mean, it's gonna be more action, comedic kind of vibe, or ridiculous, maybe not comedy, but kind of the I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
We'll see how Joel is feeling on August 10th.
Of course, we'll also have to see if it actually is an August 17th thing. It opens in limited release and then comes out later. But yeah, if it's I will also say that we didn't really talk about it because I don't really know anything about it. I just found out it existed. Is The Nightingale is from the director of The Babadook, which
interesting.
Which is The Babadook is great. So. Yes. That's another contender, but I need to know more about it. I don't even know anything. So, so we all agree Black Klansman on this one.
Yes. And so moving on to August 17th, we have a very underwhelming trailer. What's the trend here with Crazy Rich Asians? I don't know why people are going. I guess the book is better because people won't shut up about this movie. It looks generic, I guess. So there you go. Alpha, which stars Cody Smith McPhee, and the poster looks like something straight to video, so that's fun. This is my winner of the week, hands down, all day, every day. It might be the winner of the month. Happy Time Murders, from director Brian Henson. It's basically a world where puppets and people exist, and it's going to deal with murder, and it's going to be R-rated, and I cannot wait. It looks so great, and by so great, I mean the one picture that I saw. I don't even care if like the trailer looks bad. I'm still going to watch it because I love absurd comedy ideas, and I'm totally down for this. And a film called 3 Seconds that stars Clive Owen and Joel Kinnaman and Rosamund Pike.
And Rosamund Pike, yeah.
Yep. So obviously my pick. I don't even need to say it, Happy Time Murders. Graham, do any of these movies? Because I mean, we're dealing with a comedy, a weirdo teen movie, a raunchy movie, and a really interesting thriller. Like, which one calls out to you?
I'm going Happy Time Murders as well, mostly because
Yeah.
I don't know anything else about these other films. But the Happy Time Murders one definitely has the most interesting plot. So Happy Time Murders.
Yeah, that's what I thought, Joel. I got someone on my side. Now, obviously, I'm just joking. I'm assuming you're going to pick this, right? Because, like, all the others are kind of, I don't know if they're up your alley.
I'm gonna go with Alpha. I'm just kidding. I'm going with the Happy Time Murders, of course. I disagree with you about Crazy Rich Asians. I think it looks fun, but it's nowhere near as fun sounding as this movie. I can't wait to see what's up their alley with the Happy Time Murders. I think it could be a lot of fun. Great cast, great concept. Yeah, I can't wait for a trailer. They got to come out with one at some point soon.
I know, like I'm hoping
when that would be, but.
Well, and like what's gonna be?
I mean, it is Sticks. They usually kind of compress a lot of their advertising, so it could be that this is deliberate. You know, they could just come out with one like in, late mid to late May or whatever and get away with it. But yeah, it's just weird that they haven't yet. Maybe with Deadpool 2 or I don't know.
That would actually be appropriate.
Yeah, it would be just like hard R comedy thing.
Like a Red Band trailer. That actually is not a bad idea. Which I'm hoping if Sticks is listening to this, which is, doesn't make any sense because we're not posting this until 3 days from now. But if you're listening right now, you need to put a Red Band trailer out that week and in front of that movie. That is brilliant advertising.
Also, what if they did a Red Band trailer and the only blood they show is the puppet blood, which is actually just like a little puff of red stuff coming out?
That would be amazing. I'm telling you, like,
hilarious.
There's so many like funny, like creative ideas that you can
don't even include language. Don't include anything else that's R-rated. Just say
blood.
that it's Red Band, and then do the puffy blood, the little poofs of red coming out of the felt. Yeah.
So I'm assuming Joel works for the marketing department because that is just straight up genius. All right. So moving on, we got a couple more weekends left. We have August 24th with Slender Man, the new film based on a urban legend from creepypasta. So that's always fun. Dog Days, directed by Ken Marino. Who is that guy? He is a part of the kind of like David Wayne type of Wet Hot American Summer group. He's directed a couple movies in the past, but this one it's got a PG rating, so I guess he's going slightly.
It's got a crazy cast though.
Yeah,
huge.
Yeah, it's huge. Yeah, I just it's very like rom-com-y, but like it's got that PG rating, so I'm like, I don't know what vibe they're going for, but whatever. Duck Duck Goose, which is obviously Joel's favorite movie of the year. I can't even say it with a straight face. So Duck Duck Goose, animated movie.
I appreciate the attempt though. That was very funny.
I tried. So yeah, we got that, and we got Replicas, which has Keanu Reeves, which looks really awesome. A very different take on the replica type of story. That trailer was great. And then, Joel, how do you pronounce this? Papillon?
Papillon, I believe.
Papillon?
Papillon.
So it comes from
which
Beaver
is
Street.
kind of a sort of a remake of a 1973 movie with Steve McQueen and Dustin Hoffman, or at least it's based on the same novel or same series of autobiographies, I should say.
Okay.
About
I mean, because
Henri Charrier, who
was in
escaped
prison and escaped prison.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got an interesting duo listed right here with Rami Malek and Charlie Hunnam, and I can't wait to see Rami explode not only with stuff like this, but with Bohemian Rhapsody in December.
Yeah, which will be very, very high on my anticipated list for fall. I'll just give that away now because I'm a huge Queen fan and I love the song. The song is one of my favorite songs. Anyway, I'm getting off track, but yes, you're absolutely right.
I guess bleeding into that, I'll go to you first. Is this the type of movie that would win you over for the weekend?
Yeah, I think that this might be my choice, actually. I think that Slender Man and Duck Duck Goose both look like among the worst movies of the year, quite easily. Dog Days, I'm just going to have to see something. It's got a cool cast, and Replicas looks pretty neat, sort of like the Terminal thing, the kind of the neon vibe. It's from the Entertainment Studios Motion Pictures, which is likely some sort of front for some sort of money situation. I don't know what that is.
We've been saying that
We've
for
talking about that,
a long time now, and whenever they get caught, you're going to go back to this podcast and be like, oh my God, these guys are wizards. Like, they called the future, and be like, hell yeah, we did.
Yeah. So yeah, I think I'm going to go with Papillon.
Okay. Graham, do any of these sound interesting? And did you see the Replicas trailer?
I have not. I'm going to be honest, these last 2 weeks, I do not have much knowledge of, so I'm really just taking a guess on these. But because we got Keanu, dude, I'm going with Replicas.
It does look pretty cool, gotta say.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I did see the Slender Man trailer, so I do have some knowledge, and I think this was a movie that is a few years too late.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of not on the boat of interest. I mean, like, unless the reviews come out and they're, raving about it, which I just don't anticipate, I'm going to go with Replicas just based on the fact of Keanu Reeves.
I am going to go with Replicas as well. I thought the trailer was really great. And I would go with Joel's pick. I haven't really heard anything about it until now. But I had to say this because this is kind of controversial. In Duck Duck Goose, there's a person listed in the cast as Greg Proops, and it sounds really close to Poops. And so, that's not really good for, your advertising. It's just Greg Proops. That's his name. It sounds like Poops. So, I just think that's really bad for advertising. I know it's controversial to say, but Greg Proops, very, very weird name, but you were born with it, sir. Congratulations. All right, then the last weekend of August is August 31st with Juliet Naked. Joel knows way more about that than I do, but I do recognize one of the co-writers of the film, Jim Taylor, who's worked a lot with Alexander Payne a lot. We have Ken, which trailer just dropped for that, with James Franco and Dennis Quaid. And then The Little Stranger, directed by Room director, not The Room director, Room director Lenny Abramson. And that will be my pick because the cast looks great. I know the director, and I want to see his follow-up to Room because Room was one of my favorite films of that year. So, Joel, I'm assuming that is your pick as well.
It is not, but it's close between that and the one that I did, which is Juliet Naked. I've just been hearing such terrific things out of Sundance for this one. This one is from the director of Our Idiot Brother from a few years ago, which is a movie that I thought was a really good comedy, kind of a companion piece to something like Bridesmaids the same summer, and really, really good. Actually, one of my favorite comedies of that year in general. And I've been really looking forward to seeing his follow-up to that. I actually don't know if he's directed anything since then. I'm going to look at that real fast. Nope. Yeah, this is his first one since that. And I just really like that movie, so I'm picking this one. It's got Ethan Hawke as a singer-songwriter who starts an unlikely romance with a woman named Annie, played by Rose Byrne, and it turns out that the singer-songwriter in question is the subject of her own boyfriend's obsession. So that's gonna kind of music, fanhood, I should say, not actual obsession. So that should be really interesting to see. And I like this, this central cast of these three actors, and I'm just very excited to see the outcome. So Juliet Naked is my choice, and I know that Graham, you don't have. I don't know how much knowledge you have of these three, but which one sounds the most interesting to you?
Juliet Naked, Ethan Hawke. That's all I'll say.
Oh there we go.
I'm glad to hear that it's getting some hype around it at Sundance. So that's once again another thing working in its favor. So I'm going to go with Juliet Naked.
All right. So Graham, your choices were Mile 22, Black Klansman, The Happy Time Murders, Replicas, and Juliet Naked. What is your number one?
Black Klansman.
Okay.
Because I just think that to see Spike Lee come back with a story that just seems so compelling, like this one, especially with people like Corey Hawkins, Adam Driver, Topher Grace again. Topher Grace is making the rounds this summer as well, which is kind of interesting to see. I'm really excited for this one, and I'm just hoping that this is a redemption for him. But I'm going with Black Klansman.
For all of the same reasons, I'm going with the same. I'm going to say Black Klansman as well. So Chase, what would your number one be?
I'm going with The Happy Time Murders.
I figured. Yeah, no, I mean, and you don't even have to explain yourself. We've already gone through it. So, guys, this is the end of the month by month. So now we have to go through the whole summer. All right, so I'm going to go to Chase first. Your choices for the 4 months were First Reformed. First Reformed. Crap, I just forgot. Hereditary. 8th Grade, and Black Klansman. I'm sorry, no, Happy Time Murders. we just went through this.
So
now
wait a
confusing
minute.
them all.
I have to rank 3 A24 films and a raunchy puppet movie? What are you doing to me? All right.
So what is your number one of the whole summer?
Okay. I'm gonna go with Hereditary. I think that is the film that will probably shock me the most. It'll be the most potent in its genre, and I cannot wait for it. I'm looking forward to everything else, but that one has got me so interested from the way that trailer is cut and all those critic quotes, hailing it as one of the next best things in horror. I have to, man. Like, Hereditary is my pick for the summer.
All right, so Graham, your choices were First Reformed. Now I just forgot.
Incredibles 2.
Oh, Incredibles 2. Yeah, that's right. Incredibles 2. What was it? 8th Grade?
Hot Summer Nights.
Oh, Hot Summer Nights. That's right. Yeah, Hot Summer Nights. So First Reformed, Incredibles 2, Hot Summer Nights, and Black Klansman. So what is your number one of those?
Man, that's so difficult. I have to go. I gotta go with Hot Summer Nights. I'm sorry. I know I'm killing everyone right now. I'm just so shocked that people have just not had that same excitement that I have. But I don't know. There's just something interesting. Man, part of me wants to go with Incredibles 2 just on the nostalgia factor. So, but I'm gonna give it. I don't want to be that guy that gives a tie, so I'm gonna give it to Hot Summer Nights.
That is the weirdest choice in the entire universe. I'm just kidding. So my my number one choices were First Reformed, Hereditary, 8th Grade, and Black Klansman. So for my own number one,
we going for the A24 sweep?
Goodness me. Yeah, pretty much. I'm going to just do First Reformed.
Oh, whoa! You would choose that over 8th grade. You've been nothing but.
I know. I'm telling you, like these three. Well, first of all, these three are just because of the fact that we haven't seen anything from BlacKkKlansman, they're significantly over that one. Because we haven't seen anything, but man, it's really tough. Really, really tough. But yeah, I'm going to go with First Reformed. I just think that it looks like such a remarkable movie. Just such a remarkable movie. It's just the study of faith, the loss of it, and there's apparently going to be a thriller element kind of, and yeah, I got to go with that one. I think it looks incredible. I'm ridiculously you know what no I'm gonna go ahead and switch it up. I'm gonna go with 8th grade.
Yeah, no shit.
I'm gonna go with 8th grade. I can't deny this. So, and here's why. Last year my number one was Lady Bird. The year before that it was Moonlight. They're coming of age movies, and this one is a coming of age movie. These movies, if they get it right, are the ones that move me the most. And yeah. Okay, so I'm switching it up. It's very close, though. I still want to tell that to people. It's not like I'm giving it over and saying like way above.
Do not fake our listeners. You were doing theatrics, sir. You teased everyone, and you were like, "Okay, I guess."
No. It is very close, but yes, I'm gonna go ahead and switch it up. So 8th grade for me, Hot Summer Nights, like AKA weird movie for Graham, and Hereditary for Chase. So yeah, A24 rules the summer for all of us.
That was expected. Listen, when you have like 5 movies come out each month, like odds are someone's gonna pick it. But that's fascinating from all of us. Even after all that talk, we boiled it down to A24. But let us know down below what are some of your favorite ones you're looking forward to in the summer. I would like to know. But that will do it for this week's episode, guys. Episode 229. Next week, like I said, for 230, we're going to be going over the Dallas International Film Festival with all the films that Joel and I will have seen.
They're by the way, they're going to be kind of blurb.
Yeah, just little
we're not going to go
reviews,
super duper into all of them.
Yeah, we're just going to kind of give you our overall thoughts on the festival. Take it day by day and be like, oh yeah, this movie was really great, or this movie was fine, but I found this interesting. We'll just talk about our whole experience and of course give a little blurbs. And if you want in-depth reviews, you'll have to go to his website, go to Dallas Movie Screenings, or go to my YouTube channel where all that will be. All right, so with that out of the way, and of course introducing next week, Graham, I want to thank you for coming back on once again. Where can the lovely people find you online?
You can find me, obviously, Zima Podcasting Network. It's available across the web. If you just do a simple search, you'll find it on many platforms. My personal information in terms of social media sites, @GrahamZima on Twitter, pretty simple. Same goes for Facebook. Instagram, let me look at my handle real quick just so I can be sure because I always forget. GL Zima. All lowercase. So you can find me on Instagram as well. And thank you for having me on. It's always a fun time.
Yeah, no problem. And, check him out, guys. Zima Podcasting Network. The guy has like 1,000 shows. So if your only interest in life is like dirty paper clips, he's got a show for you. It is there. I don't know what day it airs on, but it is there. It will cater to your needs. But seriously, though, he does have a lot of stuff in a bunch of different categories, whether it be music, movies, etc. There's something for everybody, so go check that out. Joel, where can the people find you online?
You can find my primary writing at joelonfilm.com. I did want to clarify, none of the reviews for Dallas Film Festival movies are going to be on my website next week. I'm certainly going to be posting those individual reviews as they come out in theaters, but that's what I prefer to do on my website. All of those reviews, though, will be able to be read on DallasMovieScreenings.com. And you can follow me on Twitter at RealJoelCopling. You can follow me on Letterboxd at JCopling. So, yeah, that's where I am on the internet.
The internet webs indeed. If you guys want to follow me on Twitter, it's at RealChaseLee. Subscribe to my YouTube channel where I'll do reviews of movies you never even heard of. That's the cool thing about film festivals and all these screeners we get. These movies that you'll probably be like, what? I've never heard of that. It's all on there. If you want more in-depth reviews and all that stuff. And of course, for this podcast, please spread it around. Whether you're listening to iTunes, iHeartRadio, SoundCloud, just spread it around. Just make this podcast a good virus on the internet that you want people to listen to. And hey, listen, if you made it through this entire movie podcast and you're not a movie fan, well, hopefully we convinced you to be one. That's Joel over there. That's Graham over there. I am the Lee Chase, the Clee of the internet, and you will bow down to me. No, I'm just kidding. But no, that will be it for Real Me and a movie podcast. Thank you for listening, and hopefully we'll see you guys next week for the coverage of the Dallas International Film Festival. Peace out, everyone. All links will be in the description below. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.